Hi friends, welcome to Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny and we live and garden in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. It's mid-May. Let's take a tour around the garden today. Starting out here by the street, these are our welcoming gardens, I think. This is a spilled wine weigela that is brand new from last fall, and it has a couple of areas where it's got pretty pink flowers on it. I think it should bloom better next year. Back in here, there are some ranunculus bulbs. I think there's 25, but I only see maybe a dozen of them, and they haven't bloomed yet. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Sunshine ligustrum looks great here. Millennium allium mixed in with daffodil foliage. Dwarf Burford holly came out with lots of nice leaves. That's a banana cream daisy. Back in there are some ageratums that I grew from seed as well. And it's a similar planting across the other side, another spilled wine. It has a few more flowers on it than the one across the way did. And there are ranunculus in there as well that are not doing much of anything. This sunshine ligustrum looks really sad, so I don't know what that's going to do. I might replace it, I'm not sure. Burford holly put on a lot of new leaves. There's also ageratum back in there in the back that aren't blooming yet. More millennium allium, more daffodil foliage. And there's a magenta chiffon rose of Sharon that's put on some green leaves. Okay, let's walk down this way. This is the Vitex chaste tree. I don't remember which variety, but it is always the last thing in the yard to leaf out. And this has so many suckers, and the structure on this tree is really, really rough. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. It's not looking very attractive to my eye these days. This is the corner garden with a lot of neglect happening last year, but this year we've weeded it, Dave mulched it, and there's a lot of things in here. The Walker's Low Nepeta there is getting ready to bloom. We've got lots of lamb's ear in here. I think we'll just do a quick overview look at this. I do let my lamb's ear flower. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. I like it. So this is what we look like from the corner. Up in there, there's a lot of daylilies. There's Walker's Low Nepeta. There's a viburnum up on the right that's done blooming, and then up in the center there are some double knockout roses. I think there's some euphorbia in there, some yarrow. That's the yarrow there, and there's also some autumn clematis. Is that what it's called? Sweet autumn clematis. There's two little clumps right there of goldenrod. This is a third clump right there, and then also that is some milkweed. Walker's Low Nepeta, more milkweed up at the top in front of the viburnum. Yarrow up there also, and back in the woods there's some creeping phlox that I think I'm going to transplant and pull out into the sun. There's stakes there because there are dahlias down in there that sometimes return and sometimes don't. There's a euphorbia. That one is the glacier blue euphorbia. Daylilies, I don't know what kind. Back over on this side, there's some liatris bulbs there. There's some weeds. There's some pokeweed in there. That's a yellow baptisia in front of the knockout roses. There's some space in here. We could be adding some things. I put some cosmos down here in the front. There's a dahlia that's returning, except that looks an awful lot like a violet, so I'm not sure. Some triscanthia there, spiderwort behind the Walker's Low Nepeta. There's some daisies back there. Those are Becky. And then this is a common lilac, Syringa vulgaris. It bloomed at the very tippy top about 2 weeks ago, I would guess. And that's Nelly Stevens holly up there on the top of the hill as well. So there's room there to do more. I'm not sure exactly what's going to go in there yet. So let's walk up this way. The lawn is about 75 feet from the street to the house. The videos make it look a little bit bigger than that, but really it's 75 feet. Let's go check out the new shrub border that's on the north side of the front lawn. The first shrub up next to the sidewalk here is a southern gentleman winterberry. Its job is to flower and pollinate the winter red winterberry that's a little bit further up the border. No flowers on it yet, though. I imagine that's something that happens in the summertime. All right, viburnums. These are 3 all that glitters viburnums. They have really pretty glossy leaves. They've all leaved out. I'm looking and looking and looking for flower buds on here. I haven't seen a whole lot, but I do like their glossy leaves. There's 3 of these all that glitters viburnums here, arrowwood type. Oh, there's a bud. That's good news. Because back here, this is a blue muffin, and the blue muffin is the male plant, and it's supposed to be my pollinator for the 3 all that glitters, but it has a lot of buds on it. But the all that glitters, I only have a couple of buds, so I'm hoping that their flower time overlaps enough that the pollination will happen. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to get the all that glows. I'm probably gonna have to special order it. There's a China boy holly. He also is there as a pollinator for some female plants that are up the way. And a quick look from the street view of the side border here. These 3 skip laurels are all putting on new green leaves. They've already flowered and the flowers are fading. Here's a mahogany splendor hibiscus that I've put here. It may or may not survive this location. It looks like it's getting eaten. I should put some slug bait down. Dragon lady holly here. Oh, down in front, this is the American calicarpa, the beautyberry. I had coppiced it this year, and now it's starting to come back. It will be beautiful and green with purple berries in the fall. There's the dragon lady, and look, she's got all kinds of berries all over her. So the China boy holly that was just to the left did his job and allowed the pollen to go from him to her with the help of the bees and other pollinators. There's going to be a lot of beautiful red berries on this tree this year. Next up, this is the winter red winterberry. No buds on this yet, so I'm thinking the winterberries must flower in the summer for fall and winter berries. That makes more sense, doesn't it? No buds yet. This is, it's a type of Japanese holly. I forget the variety name, dang it. This is a Little Henry sweet spire. 4 dahlias here that are growing nicely. There's the Eastern Snowball Viburnum shrub. It's filling in okay. 2 dahlias in the back, then some liatris, some cosmos. There's the daffodils I just transplanted. This is a button bush, and it's just barely putting some leaves out. It must be a slow to break dormancy plant. There's the second of 3 dragon ladies doing fine. She also has a lot of berries on it. Strawflower annuals. And this is a wine and roses weigela. And it's more upright and it'll get bigger than the spilled wine that are out front. And the flowers are beautiful, just starting to open. Some dahlias back behind there again. I think those are the Karma chalk ones. And then 3 Clayera that surround this sugar tip Rose of Sharon here. So the Clayera are doing nicely. Back there are some Verbena bonariensis that I started from seed. The sugar tip is starting to get its variegated foliage. I expect this to change colors to a little bit more of a soft gray green with cream variegation rather than the bright spring green that it has right now. More liatris, more daffodils, and a clump of 3 different types of dahlias right here. And this is a soft touch holly that was new this spring. The Clayera looking good. And back in behind that 3rd Clayera, there's another little China boy holly and a dragon lady there, and she's covered with berries as well. Poppies. These are the Hungarian blue poppies that I winter sowed. I'm looking for but not finding any flower stalks on it yet, so I'm not giving up on it, but maybe or maybe not. We'll get some. This is a Gerard's Rainbow Leucothoe. There's 4 of these in the garden. More lamb's ear. And then this is, I think it's called Miracle Horizons. No, that's not right. Harvest of Memories. It's a reblooming yellow German iris. Beautiful. Let's see. All right, more lamb's ear. Oh, down in there are 4 ageratum that I grew from seed, and none of them are flowering yet, although they do have some buds, but they're not really growing yet. This is a Shirley Temple peony. There's several buds on it. Lots of monk's hood clumps there. All right, liatris and daffodils and another leucothoe. Down there in the bottom left is my Juliet rose, no buds yet. Miss Kim Lilac. Oh my gosh. Full flower, full fragrance. So gorgeous right now. Absolutely lovely. Here's a closer look at the Juliet rose. There's no buds on it yet. Hopefully we'll get some. What else? There's another soft touch holly there. There's some variegated iris. Oh, here's a closer look at Miss Kim. It's just so fragrantly beautiful. I love it right now. I just love this view with the lilac in the front, the white azalea, the white German irises, the rhododendron in the back by the window, and all the pink colors that are all over the garden, pink and purple. It's just so pretty. This white iris, I don't know its name, but it is a really clear white with a yellow beard in the center. I've got a lovely big clump of it here. It does need to be divided this year, I think, after it flowers. My Encore azalea is leafing out finally after all the deer damage, and it's got 3 flowers on it. Woohoo! There's my lily tree, Garden of Pleasure, I think, or Garden Pleasure, or something like that. My rose arbor that I had planned to put sweet peas on is a big fat dud right now. Down front here, different kinds of salvia. There's my fairy rose. That yellow there is Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia, and then there's Sedum Autumn Joy in the back. These are allium. I believe this one is Purple Sensation. Looking really lovely. There's the fairy rose sending up buds and shoots. I love the azalea in the back, the orange rocket barberry. All the different colors in this bed is really coming together nicely. Lots of gold, lots of chartreuse. It's just looking really pretty. Very happy with it. All right, the hyacinths are done, and the violets are, or violas, I guess, are blooming their little happy heads off. There's supposed to be 6 ranunculus in there, but nothing happening there. Soft touch holly. I've got little clumps of golden liriope all over. There's 3 Montauk daisies there. This is the front porch, flanked by knockout roses, lemon thread, false cypress. Over here also we have violas and the remains of the hyacinths. Supposed to also be 6 ranunculus in here. Not much happening there. Here are my snapdragons. I forget the varieties on these. It's all the ones I grew from seed. Blue star juniper. I put another mahogany splendor here to see how the red foliage would do there. This one's looking better than the other one over by the shrubs. More allium in here. There's a rose. That's a Mary rose. Purple smoke bush. Just all kinds of purple and red foliage colors in here. Knockout rose has got lots of buds on it. Spirea behind is a nice chartreuse green. It's just really, really a pretty combination. Lots of room still in this bed, though. Lots of room to add more things. I thought I'd overplanted, but so far I've got lots of space in here where the mulch is showing. 2 kinds of allium in here, Purple Sensation and I forget what else. Sorry, guys. I like the allium. I'm happy with it. I would like to have more green foliage underneath, filling in this mulchy area. So I got to figure out what I'm going to plant in here. There's another Miss Kim Lilac going strong. Look at the purple of those King Arthur delphiniums. Oh my goodness. Isn't that gorgeous? Loving it. Here's a salvia. It's either May Night or not May Night. I've got 2 different kinds here. One of them's May Night. I just don't recall which one. I like them both. This one has the purple stems on it and the taller plant. There's fairy rose again on this side as well. Lots of buds on it coming. Allium and that delphinium. Man, that is just such a gorgeous plant. It's got all different colors of shades of purple and blue on it, depending on what stage the flowers are in. And I love it with the window boxes back there, the color of the boxes themselves even. Orange rocket barberry, sunshine ligustrum, various kinds of azaleas and roses, another Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia. Over here are some irises that we brought from Raleigh when we moved. They're beige on top, which isn't really my favorite, but then they've got a really pretty maroon bottom and another yellow beard here. So I'm not a huge fan of the beige, but you know, they were free plants. Look at all the different purples and pinks dotted out throughout here. Really happy with it. Knockout roses, spirea. I'm not sure what kind of spirea that is. Maybe Anthony Waterer, maybe. Another orange rocket barberry. There's the Taylor juniper that we have in 4 places across the house. Over here on this front side of the walk, there's the Husker Red Penstemon down on the right there. I like the way the purple alliums stand out against the green lawn when you look at them from this way. There's room in here to be planting things too. And these azaleas, I think I'm going to take them out. Even though they're struggling to put on leaves and a couple of pops of flowers, they're just not very good. I don't know what that white azalea is, and I don't know what this pink rhododendron is, but they're both gorgeous this time of year. Got some snapdragons down in here. Oh, and there's another mahogany splendor. Put one down there. Here's another allium, which I'm in love with. More liatris there, as you can see. There's the mahogany splendor down in there, right beside the really struggling sunshine ligustrum. I have 4 of these. 2 of them are really, really, really struggling. One of them's kind of struggling, and one of them's good. So I don't know. Maybe I'll give up on that plant. Here's some snapdragons that I was talking about. And then on this rose arbor as well, I put sweet peas, and I do have one of the 4 corners has some growing up. There's the back side of the lilac and the lily trees and the white azaleas. I think we've got a cardinal over there on the feeder. Let's take a look. There he is. Ooh, and mourning doves too. It's not this guy, but in our neighborhood, right around our house, we have a male cardinal whose head has been totally deplumed. He's got no feathers on his head right now. I was reading about it, and it says it's pretty common during the time when there are babies in the nest and the male is feeding the babies. Sometimes the plumage on the male's head falls off or gets ratty looking. It'll fill out again. It's not this guy. I didn't get any video of the guy with no feathers on his head. Okay, and there's the green spire euonymus. And my pots of pansies are doing well. There's that yellow iris from the back. Down the hostas, oh, more cardinal footage. Here we go. Ooh, there's a lot of mourning doves over there. I guess I'll be weeding under there before too long. Anyway, back to the plants. These are, there's a purple baptisia here. It's going to be growing up through this support. There's a serviceberry, one of my free ones. It's got lots of leaves on it this year. It's still a teeny tiny little whip though. These are halcyon hostas down in front. Again, that harvest of memories iris. There's 2 hellebores down here that I put in last fall, and they're both doing very well, and one hosta that's struggling along. Let's look in the backyard. Start with the side gate here. Turning around here to the left, down by the gate in a white planter box, that's a green velvet boxwood. Behind that, there are some pink forget-me-nots. In front of the pink forget-me-nots, there are some Sunny Boy Astilbe, which are leafed out but not blooming yet, and there's also some hellebore in there. There's 2 chartreuse plants back there in the corner. Those are Sun King Aurelias, also known as spikenard. We've got 4 hostas in there. One of them, the topmost one, is Sum and Substance, and the bluish one is Halcyon, and I don't know what the other 2 are. Down in front, there's some Haconocloa grass and some sweet woodruff that's kind of sprinkled in there. And now we're coming up on this snake root plant, which I planted last year, and it died, and I thought it wouldn't come back, but here it is. And so I think this is called black negligee, and I'm really surprised to see it here. And behind it are 2 goat's beards, which I also thought died and didn't come back. But look, there they are. To the left of the planter box, there are 2 Nandina domestica, or heavenly bamboo. All right, and there are some ostrich ferns down in there, some more hellebores of unknown varieties, and we're back around to the hostas and the sun kings. Now, down here toward the front, there are some spent tulips, and this Haconocloa, I believe, is the all gold variety. And I think there's some Brunera mixed in there, along with some sweet woodruff. It's kind of funny how they all mixed up. Sweet woodruff back in there, plus some Virginia and some more Haconocloa struggling along. That's a golden globe arborvitae right there. Down front, there's an unknown hosta variety, and then behind that's a guacamole hosta, carnival watermelon heuchera. And this is an elegans hosta. I think this elegans is going to get way bigger than the spot I've given it, so it's going to have to move. There's another tulip that's done. These hostas here on the left are, I believe, margarita. In the planter box, we've got some berry smoothie hostas. No, berry smoothie berry smoothie heucheras, some blue cadet hostas. And then down here on the side is a tassel fern, which didn't really return very well for me, so I'm not sure why about that. The evergreens in there are Steed's hollies, and there's another Haconocloa in the center here. Down here on the left, there's a mini mauvet hydrangea. Again, the carnival watermelon heucheras are getting ready to bloom. I believe they have creamy white flowers on those red stalks. That's a guacamole hosta behind it. And then there's a variety of kinds of hellebores in here. I think there's some great white and some winter plum and some pink frost. I do not know the name of this, but it's a beautiful heuchera right here. It's kind of a dark green, burgundy, purpley color. I also don't know the name of this one with the green leaves and red variegation, but it's also very pretty and also getting ready to bloom really soon. I like these two together because I think that the colors really complement each other. I just like the way this is all coming together. More Nandina against the fence. Got some pots with a maple, volunteer, a hosta, dwarf Alberta spruce. That's a Henry's Garnet sweet spire back in behind there. Here are some spirea and some hosta and epimedium, and this is my contorted filbert or Harry Lauder's walking stick tree. It's got those crazy curly branches from the ground all the way up to the tips of them. It's one of my favorite plants in the whole garden. I like how it hides this section of the garden, kind of creating a little bit of a surprise. Now back in here, the tree here is a Nelly Stevens holly. And then this is Virginia bluebells that are done. Some Becky Shasta daisies. Some unknown hostas here. Got some irises and some lilies. And these are Biedermeier columbines, which I really love the forms of these. I just think they're just so sweet and intricate and interestingly formed. I've got two that are maroon colored and one plant that's purple. I've had good success saving the seeds off of this, and they work well in the winter sowing method, although you have to wait a long time in the spring for them to germinate. But they eventually do. Coming back around the rest of this patio on the left there, that's a Daphne. It seems to have recovered. I thought it wasn't doing well. The fence is covered with ivy. Now the ivy originates on our neighbor's side. There's no getting rid of it because it's in their yard, but we are using it to add some privacy to our patio area. And there are 4 endless summer hydrangeas along here. And I think this is where my videos get a little bit kind of out of order, a little bit choppy, weird. I'm not exactly sure what happened here, but just go with me here. Now let's head back toward the back porch here. This patio garden's got a boxwood in it, some hostas, big clumps of violets. Down between the pavers, there's some Chinese forget-me-nots, which Dave doesn't like, but I do like a lot. Flanking this little stepstone down to the lawn, there are 2 gardenias. There's some candy tuft that's done flowering, phlox and iris and daylilies and hostas, and now we're down on the lawn looking back up. These are bleeding hearts and English daisies, which are perennial here. More of the allium. These are, I think, this purple sensation alliums here. Backed up by the hostas. These are the hosta lancifolia, just a very common hosta. Here's a Schubertii allium, one of the first that's getting ready to open. These look like fireworks. This is a summer fashion rose with several buds on it. I'm looking forward to having those blooming very soon. And on the far side of that, there are some pink Japanese bottle brush plants down on the bottom of the screen. Snapdragons, and that was my stock. And now we're panning the backyard again. But here up on this side Again, daylilies and hostas and irises and lilies and balloon flowers and a silver princess euonymus. There's my pot full of double impatiens. We've got different kinds of sedum here. There's Walker's Low Nepeta down in that garden. All right, fine. We'll come over here and we'll look at my trench that has me stymied. I haven't figured this out. I have a problem. So anyway, we're back up here to my twist and shout favorite hydrangea, fronted with my pink astilbes. Peeking out into the courtyard gardens here to see how lush everything's looking out here. Everything looks good. I'm happy with it. My little bench with my flower pillow pots, backed up with various things in pots, irises and strawberry Sunday hydrangeas, and my New Dawn rose up on the porch railing, getting ready to pop open. Doesn't get enough sun here, but it still flowers for me. There's all kinds of things in this flower bed down here. It's too much to talk about, really, but the pansies are still going strong. And the flower pillows are just starting to come along. I'm hoping that they'll fill out soon. Phlox is just about done. The Eden rose on the fence is got buds on it. Mini Pearl Phlox is getting ready to pop open hopefully next week. And now we're back in the backyard by the columbine, and there are some echinacea here. Not columbine, excuse me, candy tuft. And here are my phlox. This is the Quartet Rainbow, and this is a double one. Shades of pastels there. It's really nice. And then some of the iron white are also blooming. And we do have doubles and singles. And as you know, you can, did I say phlox? I meant stock. These are stock. And you can select when they're seedlings to get rid of the singles, but I don't mind the singles. It looks nice. They do smell very nice. I don't think I'm going to cut them. I'm going to let them grow in the garden. All right, now let's go down around this side of the lawn here. There's my limelight hydrangea, nice and big. The fairy rose down in front of it in the left. These two things are Salvia argentea, and they're very fuzzy, big leaves. They're biennial, so they were leaves last year. They're supposed to put out flower stalks this year. I have no idea what they're going to look like, but they look fuzzy. Well, they are fuzzy and kind of prehistoric. Limelight's doing good. Blue Point juniper there on the left. This is the fairy rose with lots of buds on it. In front of that are some Millennium alliums, which will be blooming later in the summer. 3 firepower nandinas here, surrounding a loropetalum that died. I've got lots of foxgloves here. Well, not lots. I've got lots coming later. These are a few, but they've got lots of seed heads on them. I mean flower heads. These are lilies that I put in last year. Some strawberries left over from last year. These are the quinault variety. A few berries coming along. I haven't taken care of them, so they're really thriving on neglect if they're thriving. Winter gem boxwood. That's a camellia. And then those are Laura phlox. And that is a tea olive that seems to be trying to recover from a harsh winter. Sedums, and here's another dragon lady. 2 dragon ladies here. This one's losing more leaves than the other, but I'm hoping that it's just natural. Lots of berries on it this year. China Boy in the backyard did its job too. Variety of different hostas down in this area. This is kind of a hodgepodge leftover holding tank area from the garden. This stage is still here. I do have plans to remove this over time, but maybe not quite yet. My winter sowing projects have been sort of just sitting here. The sweet peas need to get planted somewhere, as do many of these other plants. But you can see some of them just never really grew on. I don't know if they died where they are, or I don't know. I have fertilized them and I've kept them watered, so I don't know. 3 pots back here are hydrangeas. These are the Let's Dance Rave variety, and they seem to be coming along. They've got both tall stalks and some short new stalks coming in all 3 pots. There's an azalea that's finishing up its bloom cycle. I think that's called Sherwood Orchid, I think. Down in the back, there's some gold dust acubas, another Blue Point juniper, another loropetalum here. This one is looking better than the other one, but still not beautiful. Maybe I'll prune it and see if I can get it to fill out. These are golden globe arborvitaes here. There's my Chinese snowball viburnum. My tulips are way done. I need to get them out of there. Green Mountain boxwood, daylilies, my Chinese snowball. The snowballs on these were few, but humongous. Those are gigantic. It's the size of a volleyball, I would say. They were just really big. I think next year we'll have more blooms, but probably smaller sized. Seems to be the way they go. There's no denying they're gorgeous though, right? Stems are a little weak for them this year. Maybe that'll be better over time. All right, so I need to get those tulips out. And all right, so let's look at Zephyrine Druin. She's got some sort of disease. Powdery mildew maybe, but does that make leaves curl up like this? I don't know. I mean, there's definitely some mildew on there, so I need to get it treated. Probably trim off the most affected parts and treat the rest. There are a couple of buds on there, but not very many, so I really need to get after this. In front of that, there's Walker's Low Nepeta, Green Mountain Boxwood. So it would be gorgeous if it weren't diseased. All right, let's look at this side, because Nelly Moser clematis is full peak bloom today. This is the best she ever looks, and she's fronted with the Nepeta, but oh my gosh, look at her. She's just showing off. I mean, wow. They're pink and white striped with a little bit of a tinge of lavender to them. The really interesting center parts that will turn into these silky swirly things after the petals fall off. More buds to come still. She's just doing so well. And the best thing about Nelly Moser is that she'll bloom again in the fall. She blooms on both new and old wood, so it's pretty awesome. And this view is exactly what I had hoped it would be. Oh my gosh, look at that. With the rose arbor in the back and then the trellis arbor in the front. Yeah, this is what dreams are made of, folks, right here. Let's go take a peek back here. More Walker's Low. I've got tons of this Walker's Low Nepeta, and it's going to get floppy, but I love it. So, don't take it away from me because it's my favorite. No, this rose is my favorite. This is Can Rose, and look how many buds are on here. Oh my goodness, so many buds. We've had some rain and we've had some cold weather, and I think that some of these buds have some dark coloration on the outsides of them, like right there. I think that's cold damage maybe, but I think once it's open it won't matter. So maybe tomorrow those will be opened up. There's some feverfew down there. There's another euphorbia, some weeds, lots of weeds, of course. All right, Twist and Shout Baby and Twist and Shout Mama. They're both doing well. They both have buds, but Mama's got lots more buds on it than Baby does. That's just the promise of beauty to come, isn't it? Don't you love finding buds on your favorite plants? Hello, little bug. Yeah, I just can't wait. Can't wait for that thing to be blooming. My favorite. More autumn joy. I've got autumn joys everywhere because, they're good plants. All right, we've got the row here of 4 inkberries and the 2 akubas, and this is the eastern red bud. It's leafed out now. Kind of weird shape, but oh well. It's what it is. This is the back side of this. Look at that bronze fennel. Isn't that fluffy and gorgeous? Planted that for caterpillars. There's a little bit of Husker's red penstemon in here, some gladiolas, some serendipity allium, and then over here, let's just stand here and take this in. What a view! What a view! So pretty, that clematis there. All right, down in the front here, there's 3 plants full of real charmer daisies, and here's a hosta. Oh, here's some penstemon. I forget their name, but they're going to be pink and pretty here in just a few days. Looks like. That's my solar panel for my solar bubbler fountain there. Gladiolus coming up. There's the daisies there. And then here's a hosta that's been invaded by wild violets, but it looks kind of cool, I think. More autumn joy, some monarda, whose name I forget. And I have no idea what's that behind it. This is a globe thistle that I planted last year, and it did absolutely nothing but put green leaves on, so maybe it'll flower this year. Is it a biennial? I don't know. I don't see any flower stalks coming yet, just more leaves. So we'll see. Who knows? Everything's an experiment. We've got 3 Russian sages in there. Those are the denim and lace kind. And then there's the instant karma elderberry there. And the Cherokee Princess Dogwood, Cornus, Florida. And then back in there are 3 Arctic Fire dogwoods, red twig dogwoods. And then on the left there's the laced up elderberry. It's out of view now. This is a milkweed, growing it for the butterflies. Another azalea, I think a Sherwood orchid. Hosta, hosta. Hey, ruby slippers. Look at all the buds on the ruby slippers oak leaf hydrangea. Oh my goodness. It's going to be spectacular. It's going to be spectacular. There's buds at every end of the leaf stalk. So that's exciting. Okay, back here we're headed back to the back gate. On this fence, which is ugly and not mine, I am allowing to grow some Virginia creeper. Why? Well, because it's native and it's gorgeous in the fall and it's not coming from my side of the yard and it's not my fence. So, all right, Husker Red Autumn Sage. No, Furman's Red Autumn Sage. This is a Proudberry Coralberry. I don't see any buds on it yet, but lots of nice greenery. And another Furman's Red Autumn Sage. This is a little devil 9-bark, and he's getting ready to pop his blooms open. I think he's going to be really pretty once he opens up all his blooms and grows his limbs a little bit longer so they can be more archy. That is a Gara that, I had 7 of them this year and only 2 of them came back. Hey, let's take a peek out behind the fence here. So what do we have back here? That's a cryptomeria that we planted last year, Radicans variety. These are Rudbeckia goldsturm or black-eyed Susans. I'm trying to go natives back here. It's a wild, messy mix, and there's a long story here. If you're new to the channel, go back last year and look at my tree removal series of my backyard renovation. These are skip laurels. They're done blooming and now they're putting on their new growth for the year. There's 4 of them. And they were covered with blossoms last week. Now they're covered with old blossoms. And there's some hostas that so far the deer haven't found them, but I'm sure they'll get eaten sometime this year. I have sprayed them. These are 3 clumps, only 2 of which survived, of Baby Joe pieweed, or Little Joe. Baby Joe? Little Joe? I don't know. But there's the one that didn't survive. He's got one little teeny tiny stalk coming up. So maybe it'll live, but the other 2 are looking pretty good. The last of the skip laurels there. There's 4 of them. And then down around here, I planted 2 China Girl hollies. And they've got nice berries on them as well. Again, that China boy did his job of pollinating the neighborhood. Got 1 China boy in the backyard and 2 out front. All right, and here I put in some purple coneflowers, just straight Echinacea purpurea. 3 Leyland cypress, which the deer have really done a lot of damage to. All 3 of them. There's some trunk damage. It's hard to look at if you love trees, because it's really a sad, sad, sad story. But I'm hoping they'll heal over. I haven't done anything to them or for them, but maybe they'll survive. I hope. Yeah, it's pretty rough looking down there. But my sister-in-law said that hers looked like that in their young days and they grew up just fine. All right, this wild mess over here is, I think, Carolina allspice. I'm pretty sure. Tell me if you think that's what that is. This is a kind of a weedy part of our yard and property along the driveway here, so not much effort has gone into this except Dave there. As you can see, he likes to weed. Got his weed bucket there. And the dogs keep guard down here against this fence. Okay, coming back into the backyard through the trellis and back into the lawn area. Hi, Nelly, you look beautiful. All right, there's my bubbler fountain and a green mountain boxwood and some laribe and some spent tulips. This is mini pearl phlox, and she's getting ready to pop. And then down here is a summer crush hydrangea, which maybe doesn't get enough light down there. Maybe I need to get mini pearl out of her hair, out of her business. And then this, yeah, there's mini pearl. She's going to pop open soon. And then here is a salvia from Proven Winners, but I don't know which one. They came in unlabeled containers last year when they were not in bloom. And so now I could take this picture and I could look up on their website and see which one it is. I'm not sure. There's the Instant Karma elderberry there, fronted with some phlox. I think that's Gina, tall phlox. 3 Golden Jubilee hyssops, a mama bear, a papa bear, and a baby bear. 2 calamint, and then a bunch of foxgloves here. These were grown from seed last year, and so they're going to bloom this year. I've got one that's open already with this beautiful purplish pink color, which I love all throughout my garden. I have this color everywhere. I love it. Of course, when you grow things from seed, you never know what color you're going to get. So I'm looking at the buds on the rest of these stems, and I think most of them are going to be white or cream, but I think there's a couple more pink ones in there. But I don't know, 2 dozen, it's going to be great. This is the flowering quince, which are done flowering. It's really hard to see because they're kind of sparse branches, so it's hard to get a sense of the bushes there. This is a pink chiffon rose of Sharon. And over here is a climbing hydrangea that I put on the fence last fall, and it's got some buds on it. So yay, I'm really happy about that. I'm happy that it made it through the winter there. This is a slow grower, but it will cover this fence eventually. Snow hydrangea is the variety on that. And there's a lemon thread cypress there, some lavender, couple hostas. Those arborvitaes are hanging in there. More hostas, another snow azalea. There's a Mount Airy Fothergilla plant, which didn't bloom this year, and a hosta down in front of it. I don't know why it didn't bloom, but maybe it'll live, maybe it won't. And now we're back up toward where we saw the English daisies and the bleeding hearts. Here's my lady's mantle. These are the 2 that I recently planted, and down in here is the ones you gave me, Judy. So you can see I've got 2 leaves off of the ones you gave me, Judy, and that's it. But the 2 that I bought recently are still hanging in there. I think they're wet enough still, so that's good. There's a stilby in here, hostas. There's excuse me, there's the English daisies and the bleeding hearts again. I did those from seed in winter sowing last year. I'm happy that they came back. And so back in here, there's more hostas. There's a camellia. There's a Pieris japonica right there, the Katsura variety. And up in there, there's another tea olive and the hydrangeas. That's a bobo. Is that bobo? No, that's incredible hydrangea. And the one in the container is the bobo. And then here's my stock again. Quartet rainbow stock here. And the iron white right there. This is my first time growing stock, so I'm pretty pleased. I think it's going to be a success. Maybe not 100%, but pretty good, I think. And again, the alliums here looking pretty nice. Let's go back out toward the front yard, but on the way, let's stop and look at the Brunera. This is looking really pretty. I love these clear blue flowers in the spring. I don't know the variety on these. These were a gift plant from a friend, so I don't know if they're Jack Frost or Alexander's Giant or straight species. I don't know. There's a plum yew in the corner there that just struggles because it doesn't have enough light. And this is a pretty look out to the front gate area. All right, so now we've gone over to the far side of the front yard, and these are some geraniums that Judy gave me. My daughter-in-law's mother, Judy, gave me those geraniums last year, and they look really nice mixed in with the front color. But I thought I would share down here on the side of the house, which I don't show you very often. It's kind of a neglected little side. It's on the south, but it's covered with tree canopy. As you can see, it's in full shade. This is my birdhouse that we got at the North Carolina Farmers Market in Raleigh. And underneath here, there are some more Brunera. I think these are Jack Frost. There's some woodland phlox there. I believe there's some Jacob's Ladder. Yep, there it is. Jacob's ladder is at the tail end of its blossom cycle. These dainty little blue and pink bellflowers, which don't want to focus for us. There they are. And there's some lamb's ear in here, and who knows what else. Daylilies and daffodils. And I tried to get some columbine going in there, but it hasn't really taken hold yet. So it's a nice little garden. I think I'm going to try to focus a little bit more on it, but it's definitely dry shade. And then this is what the south side of the house looks like. All I have in here right now are these plain hosta lancifolias and some daffodils. And down toward this end, I've got some other kinds of hostas whose names I don't know. And then this is Judy's Snow on the Mountain that she gave me last year, which we call here bishop's weed. It has taken, yay! And also, don't worry, it's not invasive in my yard. I'm not going to have any trouble with it. And some more tradescantia. There's another white azalea. Again, another look at this foundation. I'm thinking of what to plant along this stone wall. What do you guys think? Give me some ideas. And I kind of want to take all this grass out and make it a woodland park-like area with mulched planting beds and then a different wood chip path that meanders through there nice and curvy. What do you guys think of that idea? So that is our tour for the middle of May of 2022. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you'll consider subscribing so you can see more gardening adventures here at Harmony Hills Home and Garden. Have a great day, friends, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.